Jack Rayner woke to the sound of rain tapping the rusted window pane of his third-floor apartment. He sat up slowly, his head heavy, the same dull ache behind his eyes that never quite went away. Mornings were always like this, empty, vague. There were no dreams, no memories. Just the static silence of a mind that had been sold off in pieces. 3 years ago, he'd walked into the Echo Market and handed over a decade of his life. The deal was simple: erase the pain, forget the tragedy, and live free of the weight. But they never told him that the emptiness would be louder than the grief. He stood, pulled on a worn coat, and lit a cigarette with hands that remembered how, but not why. The city outside was gray and wet, neon signs flickering in puddles like memories that wouldn't stay still. At 7:02 a.m., the knock came. Jack didn't get visitors, not anymore. He opened the door to find a woman standing there, tall, sharp eyes, soaked in rain but steady. "You don't know me," she said, "but you knew my sister. Before you sold the memory." Jack blinked. Something deep inside him flinched. "She's dead," the woman added. "Murdered. And the police are calling it an accident. But I found this." She handed him a photograph, black and white, old but clear. Jack was in it, arm around a woman with dark eyes and a half-smile. The woman standing before him now shared the same eyes. "I think you were investigating something when you sold your memories," she said, "and I think you left something unfinished." Jack didn't answer. His fingers trembled slightly as he stared at the photo. He didn't remember her, didn't remember the woman beside him. But something about the picture felt like a hole in his chest. The woman turned to leave, then stopped. "If you want to know the truth," she said, "start with this address." She handed him a slip of paper, then walked off into the rain. Jack stared at the address. His gut told him to burn it, walk away, but his feet were already moving toward the pass he'd paid to forget. The address led Jack to the edge of the city where neon gave way to rust, and the air smelled like wet concrete and burning wires. The old warehouse stood alone, half swallowed by fog. It had no sign, no lights, just a steel door with a faded red mark, a spiral, the symbol of the Echo Market. Jack knocked once, then twice. A sliding hatch opened, revealing tired eyes behind thick glass. "No returns," the voice behind the door said flatly. "I'm not here for a refund," Jack replied. "I'm here to remember." A pause. Then the door creaked open. Inside, the space was dark and humming, like it was alive. Rows of machines buzzed softly, tubes pulsing with a faint blue liquid. Along the walls, memories were stored like relics, glass canisters labeled with dates and names, sealed and flickering with images trapped inside. A man stepped forward, bald, nervous, wearing surgical gloves. Jack remembered him vaguely. Dr. Emmerich, one of the market's chief technicians. "I thought you were done with us," Emmerich muttered. "You paid well to be. I need a memory. Mine." Emmerich swallowed. "That's not how it works, Jack. Once sold, they're auctioned off. Could be anywhere, could be gone. I don't care. I need access." Emmerich hesitated, then nodded toward a terminal. "Sit." Jack sat. A crown of cold steel was placed on his head. The screen before him lit up, flooding with fragments, disconnected pieces of his mind, sold and scattered. Most were gone, but one was flagged. "Private hold, not for sale." Jack pointed. "That one." Emmerich's face went pale. "You don't want that back." "I didn't ask for advice." The machine buzzed. The canister was pulled from the shelf labeled, simply, October 17th, 2022. Rayner, J. As Emmerich inserted it into the terminal, Jack's vision flickered. Suddenly, he was somewhere else. A dim apartment. A woman crying, blood on the floor. A badge in his hand. A voice screaming, "You don't know what you're doing." Then darkness. Jack gasped, pulling off the headset. "What the hell was that?" he demanded. Emmerich shook his head. "That's why it was held. Someone blocked a transfer mid-process. That memory is fractured, partially restored, partially erased." Jack steadied himself. The woman in the vision. She was the same one from the photograph. He had loved her. He had failed her. And now someone was cleaning up whatever truth he had uncovered before selling the memory. He looked at Emmerich. "How do I get the rest?" There's a buyer, Emmerich whispered. We traced the other half of that memory to a private collection, high-level client, unlisted. Jack narrowed his eyes. Name, I don't know, but the client's address is somewhere in Midtown. That's all I can give you. Jack stood, breathing hard. Then that's where I'm going. Jack's footsteps echoed through the neon-lit streets of Midtown. The city alive with distant sirens and murmurs from shadowed alleyways. The address Emmerich had given him was tucked between a shuttered pawnshop and a flickering diner, its door worn but unassuming. He glanced at the slip of paper again, feeling the weight of forgotten memories pressing on him. The rain had stopped, but the dampness clung to the air like a whispered warning. Inside, the building smelled of old leather and something metallic, a scent that stirred faint echoes in Jack's fractured mind. He pushed open the door, revealing a dimly lit room lined with glass cases. Inside each, small glowing orbs pulsed softly. Memories, preserved like delicate artifacts. A man in a tailored suit emerged from the shadows, his face sharp and unreadable. You're not the usual kind of customer, he said smoothly, voice low. Jack met his gaze. I'm looking for a memory that belongs to me. Half of it was sold, but the other half, it's here, isn't it? The man nodded slowly. We keep what's valuable, but memories aren't toys to be shared freely. What you seek comes with a price. Jack's jaw tightened. Name it. The man smiled thinly. Your past isn't cheap, but perhaps we can make a trade. Jack felt the familiar pull, a deal, a risk, a step deeper into a maze where nothing was certain. He didn't trust the man, but the memory of the woman, of the pain, the loss, was stronger than fear. I'm listening. The man extended a hand, revealing a small, silver device, a memory extractor. You have something I want, and I have what you need. We exchange, fair and simple. Jack hesitated. Could he risk losing more of himself? But the answer was clear. To uncover the truth behind the murder, to face the shadows of his own mind, he had no choice. He reached out, gripping the device. As the room's light dimmed, Jack realized this was no longer just about memories. It was about reclaiming a part of himself that had been stolen, and confronting the darkness waiting in the Echo Market. The exchange was swift and silent. Jack lay back in the chair as the memory extractor hummed softly against his temple. The room blurred, and fragments of his past began to stitch themselves together, painful, raw, and impossible to ignore. He saw her face again, Claire, her smile, the way her eyes sparkled with hope. Then the nightmare, the violent confrontation, the betrayal by someone he once trusted, the murder, the cover-up, and the price he paid by selling his memories to escape the guilt. Jack's heart pounded as the full truth unfolded. The killer wasn't a stranger, was someone close, someone still lurking in the shadows of the city. With newfound clarity, Jack sat up. The pieces fit together now. The Echo Market wasn't just a place to forget, was a weapon, a tool for those who wanted to erase inconvenient truths. He had one choice left. Jack stood, determination burning in his eyes. He would bring the killer to light and expose the dark underbelly of the market that thrived on stolen memories. The rain began again, washing the city in silver. Jack stepped into the storm, ready to face the echoes of his past and the justice that awaited.